What's so important about curiosity that it dominates the principles of conversational hypnosis? Well, I saw a quote from Albert Einstein, and at first it really bothered me. He said, "I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious." And I thought to myself, okay, hold the phone, Albert. Your name is synonymous with genius, but that was a pretty stupid thing to say. You have no special talent. Come on, you're a mental giant. Why say something so idiotic? Say something brilliant, something profound. I could feel myself slipping into violent grammar, so I took a deep breath. All right, Ron, calm down. Your whole point is that Einstein is a genius, and now you're calling him stupid? How does that work? I mean, Albert's point was that what made his genius was not some innate intelligence, but that he was curious. It doesn't seem so hard, as long as you're not a cat. So the genius credits his genius to curiosity. Well, then I guess we can all be geniuses, but we're not. Does that mean it's hard to be curious? You have to be a genius? And maybe Albert and I are operating on different definitions. Let me take another look. I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious. Passionately. Must have missed that. So if we're not passionate in our curiosity, it's hard to maintain. Yeah, that would make sense. What makes someone passionate? Webster's defines curiosity as interest leading to inquiry. Could interest ever not lead to inquiry? Now that's a therapeutic knot. Curiosity makes you a genius, but the client refuses to be curious, refuses to be a genius. How does that work? An authority on curiosity, behavioral economist George Lowenstein, draws a distinction between curiosity and interest. His research shows that being interested generally feels positive, while being curious, even though it can be quite pleasurable, is associated with labor and deprivation. The laborious task of filling the gap between what you know and what you're deprived of knowing. I liken it to the difference between buying a new home and having to build one before the rains come. If you enjoy carpentry, it's very satisfying. Still, much easier just to buy. Well, what would make curiosity laborious? Lowenstein uncovered three factors: importance, salience, and surprise. If something is important, we're more likely to put up with the discomfort. Salience has to do with proximity. If a source of information is within easy reach, it won't take as much effort. And my favorite, surprise. When we're surprised by important information that can plausibly be useful, the newness, the never-beforeness is irresistible. We want more, so we stay curious. And that's how conversational hypnosis works. The counselor brings the client's attention to an unconscious moment which surprises the client. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a client say, never thought of it that way before, and then become curious, searching and listening to the unconscious and finding solutions. To discover these unconscious moments, I have one guiding thought. I'm curious. I wonder why the client isn't. And that's the $64,000 question. What's blocking the client from being curious? I mean, it'd be great if we could just tell them to be curious. Every client is different, but I've identified a half dozen common blocks to look for. My first block is exhaustion, simple mental exhaustion, whether you have too much else going on or only think you do. Curiosity can feel like a straw ready to break another camel's back. Mental exhaustion can mask the second block, emotion. Remember how Lowenstein associated curiosity with deprivation? When we're deprived, it doesn't feel good. We get sad or angry or scared or embarrassed. So, don't want to feel bad? Stop being curious. Another block is urgency. The quicker we get this done, the better, so hurry up. No time for thinking, no time for curiosity. Doesn't matter what the answer is as long as we get one now. And notice the word we. If it's urgent enough, we'll just grab someone else's answer. A fourth block is harmony. What if what you discover ruins a relationship with loved ones? Want to get along? Stop asking questions. Want to avoid scrutiny? Don't swim against the tide. Don't put yourself in position to be noticed. The fifth block is punishment. Fear of being punished for speaking up. If you have messages running around in your head like children are to be seen and not heard, if you've been called smarty pants or tattletale, then you know that just voicing an opinion, asking a question, can put you in the crosshairs. It's safer not to ask the question, and even safer not to have a question in the first place. Just parrot the party line. Don't draw attention to yourself. And the final block is knowing, the assumption of knowing. Ever have someone try to teach you something you already know? How quickly do you tune out? But what if you're wrong and you don't really know? Einstein's guiding principle was to assume his answer was wrong. One answer might be better than the others, but if it didn't explain everything, he let it go and started again. Excited by the prospect of uncovering something even better, he questioned his assumptions. He got curious, and the result was genius. Now, Einstein wasn't free of blocks, but he was equally curious about his blocks. He assumed they were wrong and questioned them till they collapsed. Then he was free to turn his curiosity onto everything else. What I learned from Einstein is that blocks come first. Stay with them until the client's own curiosity dissolves them, and then get out of the way and let the client, like Einstein, and if only for an hour, be passionate